even-keeled map compared to the Inferno, but obviously Winterfox fancy themselves on the counter-terrorist side at the moment.
Yeah, interesting choice. I mean, obviously in our Australian scene, we've seen the terrorists more commonly be the victors of many a half, so interested to see how this differs in the North American scene.
Yeah, and I guess this... Sorry, just to cut you off there, the pistol round looks as though it's gone live, and Winterfox playing nice and aggressively. Lex and his teammate Desi have already found their way almost to T-spawn, but this is going to be countered by Abe and Davey turning around and finding both Legs and Desi. So in the driver's seat once again here, given to the SPLYCE team, can they finally take advantage on their map choice and win this pistol round? Aria does see one in mid-con and fight, but he's unaware of the vent presence, but it doesn't matter. Davey and his team has found themselves in the A bomb site. A huge shot there by Davey. Length of the map, couple of bullets tap there onto Anger, and Davey taking down XP3 as well. So all things coming up SPLYCE at the moment, as SPLYCE will eventually get Davey to drop after a few bullets, but he's in a very precarious 3 versus 1 with that bomb down ticking away and no kit. So more or less an unlosable round here for SPLYCE, as Abe is in the perfect position to just pop his head around that corner and take the round. But what started as a great push from Lex and Desi, you just think that after they got that first one, they got a little bit greedy and continued the push when it wasn't really on. They didn't have any sort of control past that mid-con. Had they got that frag and bailed back out of mid, that round could have ended pretty differently.
Well, it certainly surprised me, and it certainly, I think, would have surprised Team SPLYCE as well, because it goes against what we've seen from Winterfox in the past. So I like the fact that they're experimenting and are willing to gamble with their play, but like you said, perhaps a little bit too risky in that sort of sense and should have fallen back, but that's all easier said in hindsight. We can see Aria now. Terrorists, of course, are on the anti-eco. They have invested in 3 MAC-10s, so that SMG bonus could be a very real prospect for them, but the difficulty, of course, with the SMGs and the MAC-10 in particular is trying to close that distance. You can see at the moment, XP3 doing a fantastic job, at least before he fell down, inflicting a lot of damage there, but JR Nasty, or Jason R, of course, is his real name, does get the frags in the end, but it was looking very precarious for him as he was taking a few shots to the chest there. But in the end, the round does go as it should, and as it normally would. SPLYCE 2-0 and starting to build up that bank. It'll be very important for them now on this second map, because of course they need to get the win to really take away some points tonight to try and get off to a good start here in this second map.
Yeah, it just seemed like he took more bullets than 50 Cent there.
Of course, you got me. Good one. Reference game on point there. But of course, the counterpit season, as it may, is the best of 2. And of course, if you win both, you get the 3 points. But if you draw 1-1 in the best of 2, you just get the 1 point. So a big reward given to teams that can win 2-0. So a big map, just a bigger map here for Winterfox as it is for SPLYCE, trying to even up that series. But Winterfox really want to go for the jugular here and try and get that 2-0. But like we saw in Inferno, SPLYCE doing a fantastic job of putting those MAC-10s to work and completely and utterly abusing that money bonus and getting their money as high as they possibly can after only 3 rounds. You can see 2 people with money over 8,000 or 8,000 and above already in the 3rd round after their buy.
Well, that's right. You can see, I guess, the implications of that when you look at the utility of SPLYCE. They've got 4 Molotovs to speak of and 5 smoke grenades, so certainly have a lot of options available for them. At the moment, though, they're quite spread out, quite slow. You can see that really the closest they were willing to get to mid was just spamming through the wall, but they will now boost over the ledge and try and take a little bit of a gander at what they can find there. You can see that from the Winterfox's perspective, they're playing a 2-1-2 setup, so there is just one member back towards the Z connector at the moment. Really in a good position to be able to fall back if too much pressure is placed his way, but Davey opens up with the early frags. So that's exactly what SPLYCE need here as we're talking about them getting off to a strong start. You can see Aria putting a lot of pressure there on mid as well, so really trying to consolidate that and give themselves as many options as possible. But with XP3 getting a frag, it's important that Abe does fulfill his duties to support the A side, and he's done that for the moment. 4 men to 3, SPLYCE in the advantage.
Yeah, and just you can see that SPLYCE already look more comfortable, despite how this round may turn out. They already look more comfortable on Cache, just directing traffic on T side, covering all their choke points, and now they will make their way back into B, where it is just SPLYCE left to defend. But he will get the first one, but XP3 caught cheekily out of position there. And as the Molotov rains over by Junior Nasty, Desi will find the shot and FlowSick will double up with his teammate. But regardless of that round ending poorly, and I guess coming back to those mid-game reads for SPLYCE, just not being quite up to standard after they get a few opening picks and a good positioning, they're really not taking advantage of that. But regardless, you can see on T-side, they've got a very clear default. You can see that they've got map presence everywhere on this map, and then they're in a position that I believe that they can string a lot of rounds together if they just make some shots and then close out the round.
Well, Ari's actually just connected or been on the receiving of an AWP shot there through the wall into the mid connector, so he'll be, I guess, ruining that opportunity to make something of this round. We can see Abe getting afraid there, sneaking out the door. I think that's the second time in 2 rounds, so he's doing a good job proving a bit of a nuisance for himself and does a bit of a 360, pirouettes on the spot before deciding to take up that aim duel with XP3, only to lose out in the end. But you can see a 3-on-3 situation. Same situation as last round. Can SPLYCE make something of it this time, though? They found their way into the site, but crucially the bomb yet to be planted, and look how close Winterfox are as well, and FlowSick hears the beeping noise and will move in and catches one off guard. Can he get the second? Does connect as well, so great job by him connecting onto Professor Chaos there and really leaving it all up to Jason R here in the A main warehouse. They know his position, does step out, nice little shot there, and with the bomb planted in the open, this is really set up well for him, and he can convert the 1-on-2. Great work there, and what looked to be Winterfox closing out another round there with a retake wasn't to be, as SPLYCE were able to seal the deal.
Yeah, fantastic play there. If you did want one man alive from what we've seen over the last hour of play, it would be JR Nasty for the T's. Beautiful positioning there. Unfortunately, did let FlowSick through to get that double originally, so he would be thanking his lucky stars. He actually pulled that out of the bag and managed to win that 2v1. But an excellent display of shooting there from Junior Nasty, as also obviously Jason R from Canada for the SPLYCE team, as they look to close out a pretty easy eco.
And they're continuing just to rain terror across the sites here at CTs and Winterfox, not being able to do too much contending against the rifles of SPLYCE. Now, Abe, if he's not careful, will get Goblin here, but FlowSick not able to convert that frag. Unfortunately, 99 hit points of damage done, and leaving his opponent on 1 will be ruining that chance there to pick up a gun as well and save things out, as that money situation for Winterfox is spiraling out of control, and they have opted to buy here, so this is a big call.
Big call here, and I will continue to use the word comfort in, to refer to how SPLYCE are playing this map at the moment, because at the minute they ran out of spawn, compared to how they looked on Inferno on T-Slide, which was very random, very sporadic, very unplanned, this seems to have a lot more structure, and they look to be almost a completely different outfit on Cache, which is great to see. They obviously had success recently against Team Liquid, as Lex with that FAMAS tries to push in, but punishes for using the FAMAS, as Desi will take down Abe as well. But a full-blown A hit coming in here, all of the SPLYCE team finding their way into A, and should be able to get a plant down here and good after plant positions to close out this round.
We can see Desi actually on the flank. I think he pushed through door very early on, and I think it was just SPLYCE taking too much time there. Scared of his positioning that's allowed really Winterfox and opening back into this round. We're down to a 2-on-2. You can see that Davey has a FAMAS in hand, not the ideal weapon, but we'll have to make it count. You can see Professor Chaos though. He has an AK and crucially a few utility grenades to support his teammate, but as Davey steps around, the FAMAS in action there just showing that wasn't quite able to get the job done as quickly as he would have liked, and really as Angel drops the first hit, does leave him with a chance here to seal the deal and steps around with a nice 1B to the head with his P2K. Winterfox really recovered that round ever so well, but SPLYCE taking too long to get onto the A site there after getting that first frag in the A door.
Yeah, and I mean, we have to face this sort of stuff all the time in Australian gaming, where the ping variances are so high, but you can't help feel as though shots like that, where you see Professor Chaos unable to connect with his opponent in that clutch situation, he's got 105 ping, so he's doing it pretty tough in terms of being able to play the game fluently and you know, without any sort of lag. But it shouldn't be an excuse to have to play the same round every single time, and they've done a great job of this round once again, taking control and looking comfortable, not being out of position heavily. Also, Desi has managed to once again push and find 2 kills. The number of times a Winterfox player has managed to just swindle through the SPLYCE defenses and pick up a double, a crucial double, has been ridiculous. So while SPLYCE look comfortable and look like they've got everything covered, Winterfox's roster is finding little holes just in the defenses where they're not quite aware, and Desi picks up a triple on the back end of that round.
Hey, Desi, the same man, finding all the key positions, and he was the difference there in that, I guess, that 4-spy round, having position in A main, and again, great position there, just pushing into the mid and getting those frags when they were least expecting it as well, and showing us why he's a key man for Winterfox.
The difficulty here is from a SPLYCE perspective is that they know that the economy of Winterfox is hurting. Again, we can see that Flowsick and XP3 rocking out the Famises as evidence of that fact, but SPLYCE want to buy to try and keep the pressure on and really break the economy, but by the same token, they're really compromising their own game plan by doing so. You can see they have opted to buy a few pistols. A smoke grenade in the hands of the in-game leader there, and Aria is well endorsed, so perhaps trying to block off highway and allow his team passageway into the A site. You can see that that smoke will get planted or laid down in front of the highway. Desi, though, doing a fantastic job, as is XP3, really just manipulating their way around the boxes and the sites and shutting down that A attack before it really got any momentum behind it. Great job, Winterfox. And finally, we should see them start to be able to afford some proper weaponry from their perspective.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed in SPLYCE not buying there. I mean, they had 3-8, 3-8, 4-2. It is the grey area again, but when you're 5 up, already 5 rounds on the board on T side, and you know the other team's money's hurting, those are the rounds where strategically it makes sense to, I guess, purchase that extra weaponry, try your hand at winning a round that maybe you shouldn't have bought, but you can still try and make work, as now they take advantage of Desi pushing into A main and getting a kill. The counter boost comes in from XP3, but Aria patiently waiting, and Lex will get caught off guard. Luckily, he has a Molotov in end. He's able to firebomb off A before he's able to come out of the door and come around the corner. Aggression coming in from all sorts of choke points here from Winterfox, and this is the first time we've seen SPLYCE do something, I guess, even remotely intelligent in this situation. They've counter boosted, they've taken control of mid, but once again, they've managed to split themselves up into 3 completely separate 1v1s. This one has worked out for them, and Davey's able to take out anger, but once again, you see that pattern developing where they've taken all these 1v1s in a numerical advantage, and it's not going to be the highest percentage of the best way to play those rounds moving forward for them.
Yeah, a lot of broken play is probably the best way to describe that round, as we saw XP3 getting counter boosted and not making the most of it before. In fact, he was lurked by the man in middle there. So yeah, it was all happening there in that round, and now, as we said, that seesaw money situation has really come into effect here for the CTs.
Yeah, and SPLYCE building that great wall of cache across the map once again. Davey, Aria, PC, which is Professor Chaos, Junior Nasty, and Abe making a wall. Abe will find Desi, but quickly replied onto by XP3. And I'm pretty sure that he will pick up that gun. Yes, he has. Lex has got that rifle, so good opportunity here for Winterfox to save, but it won't be the case. Professor Chaos taking down Lex, who had that rifle, and now where decision-making has let them down so much previously, you hope that they can get it together and just, I guess, muscle their way into a bomb site, regroup together, and they've made a great read here, moving quickly away from the A bomb site where both the CTs were lurking, grouping up together and taking the B bomb site, which should result in them taking out the round pretty easily from this position.
Yeah, you'd have to think so. I think we also saw a revolver can come in there, so I'd just like to point out that that's fantastic to see that happening there. Of course, the terrorists will be ruining that death. You can be guaranteed they'll be raging on TeamSpeak as a result of that. But I just want to point out and give a lot of kudos to the way that Aria is currently using Davey on his team. Of course, Davey being the substitute on the team. Of course, he has played with them in the past. We've noted that. He does have experience with them, but of course at the moment he's a stand-in. Now they're actually sending him to the B side, taking that solo job really and having that responsibility of himself to scout out, find information, put pressure on, but really it allows the other 4 members of the team who have more experience and cohesion together to do their thing and to execute some aspects or elements of strategies that they would have practiced in the past. I like that, giving Davey that responsibility of going to the solo site.
And Davey's done a great job of not only going to that solo side, but I know this sounds really dumb to say out loud, but not dying in that spot is crucial, because he's controlling literally half of the map. If he dies, then Winterfox have a complete free run, and that means that SPLYCE have to pull someone else away from mid or A, and it causes real problems. So great job of Davey just staying alive and just putting a lot of pressure on that B side without losing his life. But it should be interesting here. XP3 has picked up the orb, but Davey, as I say that, has taken the risk and completely smashed XP3 there with the AK, taking that duel and winning it convincingly. And now you can see this is what we wanted to see from Splyce. Really patient, really methodical. Davies managed to pick up a second frag. Aria got one in mid, and now they should very quickly make the read back to B, as Desi and Lex have both been spotted at different parts of the map. They should make their way back to B, but the bomb has been dropped in the vent. And this, as you can see from the minimap, is a pretty precarious situation for Splyce to be in, although Davey looks as though he's going to flank excellently, and the timing is going to be just about perfect for him to come around and pick up both of these kills. He doesn't pick up both, he picks up Desi, and now it's a 1v1 with Professor Chaos, which he does pick up pretty easily, strafing out there, taking down Desi, but yet another hard attack for Splyce, as they had such an easy round in front of them, and they've managed to make it as hard as possible, but still come away with the win.
Yeah, Lex finding himself in a great position there, funnily enough, once he got the bomb down, just changing it up, and was supported well by his teammate there. If it wasn't for that flank, that round would have certainly, surely been wrestled back in control of Winterfox there, but Anger opens things up by pushing straight into that B main, and as you said, eliminating that the strong presence that Davey has in the B sunroom. And now, as a response, they are sending members towards this A site. In fact, they've already got men up the highway, and will just collapse onto the A site, with Lex able to pick up one frag and reply through the Zcon, and now finding a second head of Aria as they get into A site. And this broken play is really hurting Splyce at the moment, as they do get that bomb down eventually in the site. And now Lex and Angle will have to combine here to do some damage on that retake. As you see, they don't have the kit, so the time is very limited in the sense of what they can do. And Splyce doing a good job here of just setting themselves up, as Professor Chaos does find the first frag, and Anger is cleaned up by JR Nasty, aka Jason R, the Ghostface Killer. And just wrestling back control. As we said, that broken play looked dangerous for Winterfox there, but Splyce just steadying that ship quite well.
Yeah, and I mean, Splyce are doing everything they can to almost lose these rounds and still come away with wins.
As an example, Pete, they've just knifed each other.
They've just knifed each other as well, so a good chunk of HP goes down on their best player, which is not a good start. But Davey says, bugger that, I'm going to go get a double Tech 9. No, is it a Tech 9? No, it's not. It's a Mac 10. Get it together, Pete. It's a Mac 10. He's got 2 headshots at B, and he's making his way back around for maybe a third frag. But interestingly enough, Splyce are just starting to get the rub of the green here in terms of the luck. They're starting to get a few of these 1v1 duels just going their way at crucial times. And on Inferno, we saw so many of them not go their way. But this game, they're just getting those headshots off in just enough time. You know, we remember back to that crucial round that Jason R won from the A main, where he got the 2 kills. Those were very precarious kills. He could have lost either one of those 1v1 duels, but he won them both. And Splyce definitely in the driver's seat against Winterfox here on Cache.
That's right. We're moving into the last round of the half now, and we can see that again, Winterfox, a compromised situation with their buy. Again, 2 Famouses. It's really been their gunner choice out of, I guess, not their own choice, but forced upon them this half. And we can see they just can't get it done at the moment. And a fantastic work there by Aria and Jason R, really just shutting down that push before it could get started. And XP3 though, hailing from France, can get 2 frags, but does get taken down by A, but it has opened up the A bomb site. We can see Flowsick here trying to rotate. I like that use of the smoke there, but it's not going to be an obstacle as Flowsick charges through, only to eventually meet his demise. And the bomb, it will get planted now, and it's all to do for Anger. You can see him jumping up and down on the electrical box, really just having a bit of a gander there at high, seeing if there's anyone to spot, but really, he's the one that spotted out, and Splyce finished fantastic half for them. I know that there were a few situations where it looked a bit risque and could have gone either way, but 11-4 coming off the back of a loss on Inferno, that is a massive thumbs up for those guys this half.
And just seen such a drastic turnaround for 2 of the Winterfox players, Flowsick and Anger, who were both going off tap on Inferno on both halves. They had 2 very consistent halves of Counter-Strike, have just started to struggle here on Cache as we move into the pistol round, Jim.
That's it, and it will be an all-important pistol round for Winterfox, as we see they are going to send some men up that boost and take control of mid, I believe, on a timer. So they're just setting up and ready to go, as, funnily enough, the response from Splyce is that they are stacking that Zcon. They do have 3 members just sitting around and waiting, and smoke will be sent, and I do believe this is just going to be some sort of B splits if they can't get the frags here. But the response is resounding by Abe in that Zcon there. Does pick up 2 frags there, and Flowsick resorting to try and get that knife there. And Aria picking up 2 frags of his own on this B-bomb side. It is a successful defense, and SPLYCE just edging closer to that round win. That smoke was setting them up for a very, I guess, abstract sort of B-split there. Opting to go through the spawn.
I loved it. Forget the fact that they just absolutely annihilated. That was a 6 smoke. You could see through it from the boost. They actually blew up near CT spawn with the intent of, if they could get through ZCon, then it would help their passageway towards the back of that B side and collapsing on it. But as it was, they really died mercilessly before they could get to that point. But 6 smoke.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty quick action here for Aria and his teammate Abe. In A, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and Anger will get 1, but fall straight back into the smoke. So this isn't the same Winterfox team that we were so eager to bloviate about how composed they were and how, you know, strategically sound they were and how they're making all these good decisions. All of a sudden, you can see comfort level is so huge in CS, as I alluded to before. Winterfox on Inferno, or even on T side, on the disadvantage side, they look so comfortable taking choke points, manipulating the map, drawing out the gun battles that they wanted, and it's looked like SPLYCE has been far more comfortable on their map choice. So we've got to give SPLYCE a lot of credit for getting a beatdown on Inferno, coming back, knowing that they're coming into their map, and even started the disadvantaged side on this map after losing the knife, one would say, and putting together a pretty complete game as the SMG and Famisply comes out from SPLYCE, and they will get 1 kill here for Abe. The continued spray doesn't find the second, although XP3 goes down very low, and Professor Chaos there doing some great work, holding them up ever so slightly, but he's going to be in quite a bit of trouble if he can't get that kill. He doesn't. The Molotov is excellent though, and the grenade work from the CTs is absolutely fantastic. The Molotov first of all, and JR Nasty launches one from the 3-point line, and JR Nasty looking more like JR Smith there, lobbing one in from deep and pulling out the grenade kill. So beautiful work there from SPLYCE and good teamwork on the retake.
A little bit of a throwback there to the old 3s up.
Threes up.
That's right. Of course, they were playing under the organisation of 3s up until only a few months ago, I think, and then they were, of course, left the organisation only to play for Dogmen. But we have seen Lex take a bit of a shank, a bit of a love tap, as we like to refer to it here in Australia. But
you got backstab.
Backstab, yeah, 14-4. Lex is really going to be throwing a few accusations around at the moment as to who was the culprit of such thing. Of course, in CSGO, you can see who attacked the teammate, so any sort of lies or conspiracy theories will be shortly annihilated. But 14-4, we can see Winterfox on the back foot. They've invested in pistols, but no armor or utility grenades. So they'll be hoping to work some magic, perhaps a few 1Bs with those deedles that they've got in hand. The Tech 9s will be trying to close that distance as well and try and make something of it with, of course, that running accuracy that, of course, it is famous for. But at the moment, SPLYCE doing a good job of keeping the distance. They have got the first frag onto Anger, and they should now know the position of the remaining members of Winterfox, given the fact that there's silence in mid, almost too much silence.
Yeah, and I mean, excellent work so far by SPLYCE here. Just picking up that first kill, but remaining so patient and not pushing. As soon as I say that, Abe pushes out the catwalk area and gets absolutely hammered by XP3 with that deagle. An excellent shot coming in there, but there's going to have to be a lot more one-bullet magic coming out from the Winterfox side of things to get them across the line in this round, as the fully equipped up SPLYCE team just holds ever so patiently. You can see Aria's all by himself at A, but Professor Chaos moving back towards the truck area, and it will be an A hit. So Aria and Professor Chaos with a big job to do here, and Desi's going to try and find one. He does. He certainly finds that first kill. Does find the second one. Professor Chaos able to connect on Lex though and take down this molly coming out of JR Nasty, and he's going to try and get another grenade kill. Doesn't land the same way this time, but it's still a pretty tense 3v3, and to say that Winterfox need this round is a pretty big overstatement, but we've just seen 3 kills come in almost immediately. The defuse goes down, and that should be, let's see, 11 straight game points for SPLYCE.
A very quick retake that certainly was, but I believe that was just a GoTV lag. It was flawless nonetheless, as SPLYCE didn't lose a single member, and now Winterfox in a position here. Obviously, they economically can afford to buy, but certainly a large hill to climb mentally, and they are just going to slow things down and go for just a split pick approach to this important round.
Yeah, and it's do or die here for Winterfox. They've got the best possible buy they can have here, so they've got all of their members with full utility. We've still got Molotovs and smokes left on 4 of the members. Here come the Molotovs. And they're going to try and just Molotov out a few key areas of the map at B, try and get that pressure on, try and draw out a false rotation here from SPLYCE in what is going to be a series of match-saving rounds here from Winterfox. A control has been taken by Aria, so he's fully aware now, and this is what they didn't do on Inferno. You see Aria here with the push, Davey and Junior Nasty picking up 1 kill apiece there. And you can see it's all going downhill here for Winterfox. It's all on Anger at the moment. He's going to be trapped in a 4 versus 1. He picks up 1, he picks up 2. Can he pick up the third? He doesn't. Abe takes down Anger, and a fantastic result there for SPLYCE, taking down Winterfox, who were favourites to win this series 2-0. They've managed to scrape out of this with a 1 versus 1 and a fantastic display of rebound Counter-Strike there from SPLYCE, being able to put the asset on a much more consistent lineup, or what was perceived to be a much more consistent lineup in Winterfox, and all the credit in the world needs to go to SPLYCE and their ability to come back from a pretty devastating Inferno match.
That's right. It's really been the chip on the shoulder, hasn't it, in the past for Winterfox, where they've got a team that has really all the support that you could possibly ask for. Of course, sponsored by and partnered with SteelSeries. They have a gaming house. They are based in Chicago now. They've really had their choice of players amongst many different iterations of their lineup. But really, whilst they can get good wins, they've